Match of the day in Adelaide, round 19. We're away at the parade. It's Central District in top spot against Norwood. This will be maybe a preview to what will be a pretty intense finals campaign for both these teams. Windsor off the back line. Caught with the footy on forward. Prime hands it off McIntosh, but there's a call on play. And a free kick as McIntosh heads towards goal. And joining us today is former South Adelaide McGarry medalist, champion, South Australian champion and Carlton champion, Mark Nayley. Welcome, Mark.
Welcome, fellas. Great day out here.
Great suburban footy, isn't it? Plenty of people back to the parade. It's a bit cool and wet, but they've turned out in their numbers. They set themselves smart close. It'll be horribly close to a goal. What's the umpire got to say? And the Redlegs, they're away.
Before that time.
It's the free kick prior to that, and the ball will go back to play. Anthony Harvey took the free. It was a lovely kick from that position. So 6 points separates them.
Primus. Arnold getting over the top of him early, picked up by Rowe, quickly onto the left foot, goes nowhere. Ground leads in the race, bounces beautifully for him on the left foot, over Tyson's head. Stevens again in the back pocket. Russell collar him around the body, beautiful kick. Couldn't take it, was Potter. McIntosh over the top of it. Healy rides him into the ground. And umpire Abbott, with the numbers this week, will bounce, I would think, or will he throw up? Throw the ball up, that is.
Good idea, numbers, Mark?
Well, they had to, keep in line with the AFL, but really I don't think it's necessary. I think at our level, we just, most of the players know who the umpires are. I can't really see any point in it.
Harvey, beautiful handle. Tyson over the top. Reamers can't control it. The second effort was brilliant. Beautiful tackle by Stephen. Smart's got it, gives it to Russell. Russell throws it back to Roger James. He's going to have a shot. Prime. Oh, it's through! Beautiful work, Chris Prime. And the Redlegs on fire in the first 3 minutes. They've got number 2 on the board.
Collis has taken the goal umpire out. He's just come back. But once again, Norwood have come forward. Central District's far too loose. They're just not picking the players up. Far too many players just running down in numbers. It's a great pick up there. Quick hands across. And see, there's just too many blokes. Ray's standing by himself. You've got a player behind him. A long shot from well inside to the 50. But great body work in the goal square top by the big fella.
So the Redlegs, they're on target. They've kicked 2 straight goals without a miss. They're going with the breeze. McIntosh won the toss and elected to go left of screen. Out of centres, it's about 3-0 in favour of Norwood at the moment. They've gone forward with almost ridiculous ease. Body pressure is what the Dogs need to do. We heard Mark Nayley just say that a second ago. Far too loose. I'll get the pedal down, I would think, very, very quickly. They're a good side, the Dogs, and they won't be denied the use of the ball. McGowan to Stevens is good. He goes towards half forward in front. And Lewis, a welcome return to the Dogs a couple of weeks ago. His chip in is good. He wanted Wakeman, but in the road was Fleming. Caught with the footy, holding the ball they want. The Dogs forward, and caught with it was Harvey, but offline. And the Dogs open their account through Cook.
Yes, good work, Mark, by the Bulldog forward lines holding it up, and Tim Cook might have put that one through.
Yeah, forcing forward. It started from the half-back line. Actually surprised they got Stevens on the wrong side of the ground down here, I guess. He's a left footer, and he has, twice or 3 times now he's been caught on his right side.
McIntosh. Dan Tocker kicks off, he's got no one to kick to. Schwert. Cowham over the top, should have punched, went for the grab. Beautifully done. Cotter. Tim Cook in front. Handles it well. Throws on the boot, but straight to Fleming. And hasn't Fleming been the backbone of the defence in the last 6 or 7 rounds?
He and Miller and McCormack this year particularly have pretty steady. They needed a replacement for Robertson, and McCormack's fitted in pretty well. The big fella is Chris Prime. They've got the footy forward now. It came in pretty late, and Growden obviously saw him, but a lot of courage there. Primus gives the running player wide. Arnold can't get to him. Harvey again finding space.
Still too loose.
They
They're just moving it so easily. There's a bit of a fight on behind stage between Potter, is it? No, the big fellas have got it.
So Harvey kicked a goal there earlier in the first quarter. Smart up. Tyson! Goal, the Redlegs 3, and the Dogs have got no answer early in the parade.
Yeah, once again, Tyson, he's just in the right spot. I've got to get used to these players, don't I?
Harvey.
That's Harvey, is it? Lovely long kick into the right spot, and there's Tyson right in the front of the pack, all by himself. Kick the ball just over the line.
It's a spot to be, an opportunist. Tyson. Abbott throws the ball up. Primus gets it straight to McIntosh. They're doing exceptionally well out of centre to James. Straight down. He's going to have a shot. Will it bounce? No, it doesn't. And Norwood peppering the goals. We're 5 minutes in. They go to 3-1-19. The Bulldogs one behind.
They're doing it easy, aren't they?
Out of the centre.
No pressure.
They seem a little bit intimidated, the Dogs, early in the piece. They've just lost their composure. We've seen a lot of them this year, and much better than this, but Norwood got all the footy. Growden sends it forward. Windsor at the back. The crummer is Russell. Hands off. Too easy. 4 goals. Tyson second. Oh, the Dogs are on a holiday.
I just can't believe it. The ball's come into the forward line. Crummer's up there by himself. I mean, he's taken the mark. Ball's come to ground. Growden kicks the ball up, and look at that. There's 4 players, 4 Norwood blokes standing there by themselves. Look at them. Anybody could have had it. It was a raffle. Handballed across. And there he goes, Tyson. He kicks his second goal for the quarter.
All in the crumbing position, though, aren't they?
Oh, they were. The front of the pack was where they're supposed to be, but there's no central blokes around them. They've gone missing all of a sudden. You know, the 4 goals down, they can't afford to give them too much of a break this time of the game.
And Mark, when you talk about good hands, Anthony Harvey too has crumbed beautifully. Quick hands and set up 2 goals for him.
Centre of the ground, and it will have another ball up. We'll be lucky to get out of the day without any rain. Despite that, there's a good crowd here at Norwood Oval. And Norwood have been very hospitable today. Michael and I were guests at the President's Lunch, Mr. Ferraro, and that was very, very nice indeed. Oof. Growden sits out, so does McGowan, and as the rain starts to fall, it'll be a hard day out in the mud, Michael.
And Mark, when you're talking about 4 goals to nil at the moment, if it starts to really pelt down, it's going to find the Bulldogs very difficult.
Well, the Oval's pretty heavy, isn't it, out there? If it gets any heavier, this rain's going to be pretty hard for them. There's a fair bit of breeze there. It's favouring Norwood at the moment, but as I said before, you just can't let them get sort of 4 or 5 goals ahead.
Splattered with mud is Craig Potter. He puts it forward. Wakeland, who had a big day out last week, kicked plenty. Grant Coffey, he's replaced at full forward. And Coffey still sits high on the... Wakeland can't get to ground, still sits, what, second or thereabouts on the goal kicking list with 52, playing in the 2s. This is Wakeland. Michael Wakeland, the chip short is good. And he finds Lewis, but he's tough. Normally a left footer. Pops it to the front of the square. Intelligent play. Conway couldn't take it. Loose ball.
Free kick, Conway.
It's a big, nice long kick in. Up he goes. You can just see the hand on the shoulder. Over the top, and he deserved the free.
Bit technical.
Oh, with the arms there. It's on the shoulder. The umpire's in the right position. Had to be called.
Okay, so 10 metres. Just what the Dogs need, a break. And Big Conway, he's a reasonably athletic player. Plays in front. I like that about him. Has he given the Dogs a start? He certainly has. And Alan Stewart can breathe easy. And it might settle the Dogs down at this early stage.
It's a nice long kick in by Laird. Nice high ball. Then Norwood blokes in from behind. They try to sport, but just accidentally it was just too high on the shoulder. Lovely kick for goal. Brings them back in, gives them their first score for the day.
The Bulldogs, their first major, 1-1-7, trailed the Redlegs 4-1-25. Primus and Arnold. It's going to be a great contest. There's many of them. Beautiful hands by Grounder McIntosh. He'll barge through. Oh, magnificent stuff. Cowan gets caught, can't keep the handball off. Growden in there too high. And you put the body on the line, you'll get the free.
Great courage showing.
McIntosh round the body. Tyson's got to go for that. Plugger was in there. That is beautifully. Crum Windsor cuts that off. Just belts it to the half-forward line. That'll run out of bounds.
They've got the centre square organised, the Redlegs, haven't they?
Yeah, well, McIntosh is dominating. I just expect Potter to get a little bit tighter fairly soon because he's just getting too much of the ball, Macca, at the moment. But Potter is an exceptional player as well. He really has to, he has to be aware of where Macca is, but really, Potter really is one of their playmakers.
And there he is, getting a touch of the footy. Windsor gets one along the ground. You can see the conditions. It is pretty heavy. Forward they go on that occasion. Schwert got the rebound, punches one in, beautifully put, and a sliding mark for Wine. And he did that pretty well.
It's a nice long kick in by Schwert. He knew where he wanted to put it, but a great grab by Wynn.
He's
diving into the mud.
About 60 out. It's a great piece of work. He's now very dirty. Here he is again. Good courage against Fleming. Loose ball. Primus. McIntosh caught, and without the footy, says the umpire. So Macca, or Primus it was, earlier, takes the free quick. Russell. Ball will come back though.
Dan Tocker it is for some reason.
He must have been interfered with out of picture.
No love between Potter and McIntosh at the moment. They're both going at each other.
Pretty tough cookies, both of them, and has had the better of him at the moment, but he'll fight back, no doubt, Potter. It'll be a good contest, and if there's any more rain, most of the work will be done on the ground. 4-1 plays 1-1 and 25-7, so a margin of 18 points. A good break early for the Redlegs. What a spectacular 5 minutes. McGowan, Cook, chance for Russell. Girdham's late. They've tightened up a little bit, the Dogs. Nice work on that occasion by Cook to get in and out. Potter goes to ground. James, he goes wide. He did it well. This is Grouden, outside 50. He's got prime on a lead. He's found him. So a good piece of work, a good lead and a good catch. He again is outside 50. He'll go long, puts it in towards Rowe, but the kick is a poor one. And lands in the hands of Reimers.
Reimers out to Cook. Across that outer side. Beautiful kick to Arnold. Playing front, particularly into this wind. Windsor makes the run. Quick kick. Dantokia held on to. And the umpire in Craig Doddridge sees that, calls play on. Kick short again. Arnold over the top. Beautiful red Craig Stevens. Dantokia can't hold that one up. Jason Miller. Oh, too easy. Throws it on the boot. Half smothered. Roger James, probably the best first-year player, goes to Pieri. It's over the top. Tyson's read it beautifully. So is Reimers. And Reimers does the better. Oh, short kick. Schwert goes to ground. It's falling over everywhere. They'll throw it out of bounds. Harvey just keeps it in. Roy Laird, beautiful hand pass to Windsor. Windsor throws it to McGowan. And the Dogs in the end did it pretty well.
They're under a lot of pressure, Mark, and not doing it easily, the Dogs, are they?
No, I think Norwood just handling the conditions a bit better. I think they train here, they play here a few times this year, and they're just handling the conditions a little bit better than what Centrals are at the moment.
A Raiders kick towards centre wing. The ball to ground. Lewis leads in the race. Miller will give chase. He's a left footer. He's been pinged, Miller, holding on.
Soft free kick.
There was a soft free kick. Both players over the top of the footy. Lures into the pocket. Wakeland interfered with, was he? Play onto the call against Toombs, no. McCormick. And he got it exactly where he wants it, over the line and out of bounds. Good crowd here, Mark.
It's starting to build up. The conditions today, it's cold and it's drizzling out here today, and it's really one of those nights, days that you don't really want to be here if you can help it. But it's such a two top size. People should be out here to watch it.
And they've done just that. Oh, caught with it, McCormick. A chance for Cook. The handball to Wakeland over the top. Conway. Oh, they nearly mucked it up. They had the players, they had the numbers, they had the options, but only just got away with it. And Conway kicks his second.
Yeah, plenty of pressure put here on my centre. You can see a tackle's thrown on. I wouldn't really call that a throw, but quick little dodge and a weave, and through they come. Good play by Centrals. The players were there and the support was there, but Nord, unlucky. They should have got it out.
Yes, under the conditions, just get the ball to hand or foot. Very difficult, particularly in those boggy patches.
Gonna need lights here in a minute, ain't she?
Certainly. Primus gets his hand to it. I think the Bulldogs have settled a little bit. Miller and Lewis, teammates from Brisbane, go at it. And there'll be plenty of ball-ups all day. It's going to be a slog. So we're 15 minutes in. 12 points, the difference. Primus, good tap. Russell can't control it. Harvey quick onto the boot. Prime in front, looked high. McIntosh beautifully read. Smart, back to Prime. Prime kicks long but wide and just sneaks through for a behind. So good attacking move. Unfortunately for the legs, are behind the score.
Mate, Norwood just carrying the ball so beautifully for the centre at the moment. Yeah. McIntosh really is just, he's there, he's directing traffic, but really, that's when Norwood are winning it through the centre, and the ball's going long into the forward lines.
Giving their forwards a one-out chance all the time, and they love that. James gets the spill, they've turned it back over. Harvey, chip shot is good, and he's got Rowe on 40. Just too many options and too loose.
Yeah, you said it right, Neville, just too many options. Once again, there was 2 or 3 players. Like Harvey came down, he could have kicked to either one of them. But, just then. The player's loose by himself. You see him sitting in the pocket there. Is that James?
And Stevens covers him, but far too late. If Rowe had wanted to give off, he could have easily have done it. He'll kick from 40. He'll be in a bit of sticky patch there too, Rowe, but he's been there before and done well in it. First goal, 5th to the Redlegs.
He's shown his experience, he's gone back and he's put it through. It's a lovely kick by Rowe. But as we said, Central's once again had a chance. Lucky not to get a free kick there. But once again, look at the numbers. There's Norwood that plays. There's Harvey, just runs forward. He had an option there, 2 or 3 of them to stand. Look at him. And Rowe takes the mark, goes back and kicks the goal. Central's got some problems at the moment, Neville. I just can't see him at the moment. They're second to the ball, and Norwood really are putting a lot of pressure on them.
They need a leader, don't they?
Rowe, Groudon's done well in the centre. Prime's done that well. Rowe again, shepherded off as McIntosh can't control it. Schwert, he'll bottle that up. That's well tackled, Stephen Rowe. So Norwood.
Matthew Primus in the middle, he's just too tall. He's had about 2 or 3 at the moment. He's just getting the ball down to his, to his smaller brigade.
Yes, Norwood forcing it through. McIntosh having a rest in the pocket. Rain tumbles down. Smart. Cowum in there, coming back from injury. Over the top. A Raider.
You've really got to set yourself for days like today, don't you? It's almost a different set of rules, isn't it, Mark?
Yeah, I met to meet a player who likes playing in these sort of conditions, but really it's a day where you just got to get dirty, get down, get them in the mud, and just it's really a day where the players that do that will come out on top.
The change just being made. Lewis out to centre half forward Conway. Sorry, Lewis to a full forward position. Conway out to centre half forward as the rain starting it a little bit heavy. Very dark. Over the top. Free kick. Primus goes short. Miller all by himself to that outer side.
The big fella, Jason Miller. And playing against a former Brisbane Bear partner of his in James Tyson today. I'm sure they'll have a drink afterwards, but they won't say too much to each other during the day, I wouldn't think. They'll both be a bit too busy. McIntosh has been busy. He's been very busy early. Probably had as many touches as anyone on the ground and would be right up there as one of the best players for Norwood.
Yeah, he's just doing the job. This sort of conditions where it's wet and it's muddy, he just loves it. You can see on his, his face just there. He just loves being out there. He'd like it wetter and muddier, I'm sure.
Look at him. He's like a D9, isn't he? Just cuts his way through anything. Demolition. And McIntosh carries the hopes of the Redlegs as their leader in 95. They reckon they're a chance this year. So too do the Dogs. Today is a fair test for both of them. This is Laird, backwards. Reimers Hill should have got it, I thought. Good work. Groudon just to keep at it, though, and push the ball forward. Rugby style.
We must make mention, Neville and Mark, that the generosity of Fairmont Homes, 15,000 winner take all.
Yes, and it's also a Foundation Cup game as well. So you win today, you take 18 big ones home. And that is a lot of money to be playing for.
It's a nice purse, isn't it?
It's a good purse and good for local footy and very generous of its sponsor. Around the corner goes Windsor. Miller, that's indications of how slippery it is and will be. It won't get any better than this. Reimers off the ground. Clever football. You'll see a lot more of that. From behind goes Fleming. Potter to ground. James is there. This is Cook. Quick left foot boot. towards centre wing. Dantokia leads Girdham. Handballs forward, just gets the yards and out of bounds.
20 minutes into this first term, and as you see, the umbrella's up.
A lot of cover in the outer at Norwood, or around the a lot of grandstand cover, Michael. Good for the crowd.
Well, it's a great oval to watch footy, and under the conditions, it's not that flash.
Not a good oval to visit though, Mark. You would have come here a lot as a visitor, and it has. I mean, it's a real home advantage for Norwood, isn't it?
Oh, it definitely is. Like coming across, especially this western side of the oval, we got the grandstands. It's just, it really, you know, I remember playing here a few times. You had the Norwood supporters, and they start chanting, as do Central. Like you go to Elizabeth, same sort of feeling.
Yes, indeed. The members are.
Oh, great smother, Potter.
Was a good smother. That's the sort of thing that can really lift a team, and they've got the advantage. So they've got back into the game a little bit, just physically, the Dogs, and they just have to tighten up. Now it's Norwood's turn to just a bit loose. Wine puts the ball in long on a lead. It's Wakeland. And a break for the Dogs. He's been leading well though, just hasn't had it delivered very well.
Yeah, Carlton, he just put the ball out in front. And once again, you know, just good, strong mark in front. It's a thing, like, you know, Central just had to get in front of the moment. Like they're getting in, they're getting the ball across the centre line, they're putting it forward, but Norwood just, you know, they're just being there in front. But this time they've come forward, and what happens? They get a mark. That's all.
Exactly.
Just get in front, give yourself a chance.
Okay, Wakeland, who has been very, very accurate. Although at Adelaide Oval last week, we saw him miss a couple of set shots. I think he finished, what, with 6 last week, Michael, and was a good player for them. But I take your point, Mark. On too many occasions, Norwood have led, out of defence, have led the Central forwards to the footy.
Yeah, it's just happening. I think that, you know, just looking at the wind at the moment, I think the wind's starting to turn a bit. Just looking at the sock, the wind sock over the other side. I thought the start of the game would have been about 2 or 3 goal breeze, which is what they're leading by at the moment. But I can just, you know, watching it now, I think the wind's starting to shift around, you know, coming from the north now.
Beautiful
so Norwood
kick
might get the advantage.
by Primus. McCormack right on the boundary line, goes short to Clement. He goes long, hugging the boundary. Miller can't control it. Remus takes it over.
Geez, has he made a difference to their defence? Craig's played him there, Neil Craig and Screen. Has played Miller at centre-half forward when he first came over, put him to centre-half back, and he's been a star there.
He's strong. Yeah, that's what you need. Like, you need someone at centre-half back who's got that presence, and you just got to stand and, like, you know, the ball won't go past him, and the smaller blokes around, he can work off him.
Kelm, Growden, Harvey, forward. Mr. Mud, Tearson's get to couple. It's been busy. Rowe's been in it as well. Good grab in the mud. Little fella number 3 turns it around. Once he done, the shepherd is good. Oh, he would have loved that one to have gone through. Good busy work by the Rover though.
Yeah, he's down. He's, you know, he's at the fall of the pack, which is, you know, where he should be at. Unfortunately, he just couldn't kick it straight.
Miller just coming off the ground. Probably a little bit of pace problems. Maynard, much to the applause of the Redlegs crowd, comes on.
It's a sort of day where you can move your people on and off the ground though, just to keep them a bit fresher, Mark.
Well, I just said, like, the start of the game, it's just all of a sudden, you know, the rain's come out and it's getting heavier out there. So, you know, Norwood a little bit top heavy. It's a good idea to bring Maynard on with his experience and also with, you know, a little bit of you know, pace he's got there with it. I think it's going to benefit the Norwood side. He's
got a lot of run in his legs, hasn't he, AC? Like, he does love to get the footy and sweep around half back. And how many times has he launched the Crows forward in his career?
Oh, he just moves, he works hard. It's the greatest asset of the player. Never gives in, very fit. Smart, I think it was. Remus over the top. Prime kicks it to the head of the square. It's a race on. It's got to just sit there off the ground. Beautifully done. Kim Russell. And very fortunate Mark, the ball just sat for it.
Yeah, Norwood just too quick. We just saw that. Yeah, it's a nice long kick in again. Brian's gone up. He's lucky here. He's got hold. He's hooked it around. And just watch this ball here. It just doesn't go anywhere. It just sits. I've never seen anything like it. Once again, Norwood just too quick. There's Russell.
Just the inside.
Now Stevens is not slow. Yeah, and Russell's just gone past him. Norwood at the moment really are just too quick on the ground.
39 plays 14. It's not what we would have expected to see here between 1 and 2. 4-goal-1, so 25 points separates them. Stevens playing in defence. He's played most of his career on a wing, Mark. We saw him last week in defence. He doesn't look comfortable there to me.
No, he doesn't. Like, he needs a little bit of space, I think. You know, his best or his asset is his speed and also his use of the ball and being able to support players around. Like, you know, at the moment he's playing eventually like centre half back to a half back flank. That's where he's playing. He's just not there to be able to support. Like, he's really playing a minder's game.
Centre of the ground, Healy. Want to see more of him over the top of Maynard and Lewis. And Rocket first to it. Lewis, who's got his fair share of the ball coming forward. Has probably be happy to see the end of Miller, but Maynard will keep him busy. He'll run down the ground, and if he doesn't go with him, Maynard can turn the play on you very quickly.
Great experience shown by Maynard then. He was under pressure and knocked the ball towards the boundary line.
Prime played for the free kick. Maynard in there again. The umpire called for a bounce. Rain still tumbling down, and really it wouldn't be a bad idea if they did put the lights on.
Well, the heaters either.
Yeah, yeah, there's a call. I'm sure we've got a couple of gas heaters in the ABC van. If you could bring them up, boys, we'd appreciate it. A cup of coffee would go down well as well. It is dark here at Norwood, and this is only, what are we in, 15, 20 minutes into the first quarter. Overcast, wet, rainy, winter's day. 6-3 plays 2-2, and it's going to be a long, hard day for everybody out there. It's going to be the toughest will survive. Any cliche you like, but I'm going to tell you, if you don't put your body in today and do the work, you won't win.
Clements comes up with the ball. A lot of hard tackling. Primus goes to the boundary line. Maynard just taps it forward. Over it'll go. Potter and McCormack see that it does just that.
So what's Macca doing? Is he sitting out at just going back to a half-forward flank for a rest out of the centre?
Yeah, I think they've got Growden maybe picking up McGowan, giving him that responsibility. Macca ruck roving, and his opposition obviously in Potter and Girdham. Over the top was Fleming. In front was Clements. James
is pouring here at the parade.
Harvey, off the ground. Girdham, just grab it, kick it forward. In front was Cotton. That's a beautiful handball to Wine. Goes short. Maynard intercepts McCormack, and is it belting down? McIntosh just on the right foot, dribbles it through. Run down nearly was James. Very difficult. Potter. McIntosh just jumps all over the top of him.
Days like the days where you just have a look at this. This is a beautiful picture. You can see the volume of rain, but it makes you wish you were playing again, doesn't it, Mark?
That's honestly, Norwood got a match-winning lead. The game's over. Like, you get 4 goals up in these sort of conditions, and as I said, the Oval's not in a very good state. Going to get worse.
Harada is there, Wins is there, Smart's there as well, and the feature of the game at the moment is that, as Mark Daly said, Norwood have got what have they got, a 25-point lead. We're just into time, almost into time. I can't see the board. I almost can't see the game, even on the monitor.
I think it's hailing.
It's unbelievable. Of the injuries to players from hail. It's incredible conditions here at Norwood Oval. Maynard probably wishes he was still sitting on the bench. He goes short. He finds Clements, who comes down the grandstand side. Prime's playing in front, or Pieri, I should say. McGowan has time to look. Puts the fog lights on. Couldn't see far enough. Primus is there. He's got some help from Maynard. In comes Clements, well out of position. He needs help. Harvey's there. Inside, Fleming. Bodies go in. Laird as well. McIntosh jumps in. And in front of the members, we'll have a ball up.
There's plenty of feeling out there. I'm just seeing off the ball. There's a few sort of hips and shoals and blocks and shepherds and a little bit high. And there is a bit of feeling out there.
Well, being 1 and 2, I mean, they've really got to challenge each other personally, don't they? That's the test of, I guess, top teams. It's individually, every player does stand up. Healy's caught, he's in strife.
Beautiful handball on to Cook. Healy did that exceptionally well. Dantokia leads Wine, and off the ground, does the percentage thing. Wine hot on his tail. And we saw just a minute ago in Pieri. Picked it up beautifully, but should have known that Wins was on his tail. Got caught. Should have given the ball up quickly. Smart. Wine, Growden just dives on the ball. The umpire, well, it'll be interesting on a good day. He may have called that holding the ball, but they're going to give the guy in front a chance. Smart. They're getting in front, the Norwood ruckman. Just laying it down to their smallman's throat. McGowan's done pretty well. Beautifully done, just backed into it. Quickly onto the ball, but unfortunately the wind takes it out of bounds, and Maynard will relieve for the legs.
Had some important touches since coming on, Maynard.
Yeah, he's around the mark. As we said, look at him now. He's run down past McIntosh. McIntosh gives it all he's there. But he's just, look, he's still running. He's still moving down. So, I think they're trying to exploit the centre half forward. He's a little bit bigger. I reckon Maynard will be running up him a fair bit today.
So the Redlegs, they're pushing the ball forward any way they can. They've got plenty of support. McCormick goes to ground. Well, that's Cowm, I should say. McIntosh in working hard. There's 3 players have got him. And the siren would be a welcome break for the Dogs. They haven't done well in the first quarter here. Round 19, it's at Norwood Oval. The Redlegs are 39 points, the Dogs are 14. There's a margin of 25 points in favour of the Redlegs. All the action on ABC Sport. Margin is 25 points in favour of the Redlegs. They got away to a great start in the first quarter, mostly for their dominance through the centre of the ground and through half forward. And the Dogs were caught just a little bit slack on their defence. Really didn't have the heat up when the game started, and then they got caught with this rain. And it's going to be terribly hard to bridge the gap. Out of the centre goes Smart towards half forward. Reimers is there. It's a Quagmire out there, taking the mark and doing it pretty well for Norwood. Was Prime, he puts it in long, can't take it, tears it. Back of the pack, Stevens. He's close to the line, he thinks about staying in, decides to. You can see the rain for yourself, it's absolutely unbelievable.
This has to be the worst Saturday this year.
It's probably for years. How
Not envious.
Just fascinating, it's so much water can fall. And that's Growden screen. Drenched. I just noticed Neil Craig coming off the ground and Alan Stewart. They'd be happy. They're going to sit in their box. They can't run around and get warm. They're absolutely drowned. Neither had umbrellas. It's interesting, isn't it? Coaches feel they have this obligation not to take an umbrella out in the ground. If you were coaching, Mark, would you?
Mate, I'd have my Dryzabone on. Like these sort of conditions, it's just you've got to look after yourself. Like, they're actually saturated. Like I saw them come off the ground.
I know.
They can't be comfortable.
No, that's right. To do the best, I guess you're right. They should.
There's Maynard again.
Yeah,
he's backing up. He's running off again. He's just he's going to be important. Position there today.
Pyman over the top, and that's too easy. Peter Green onto the field. The rain stopped. It's well done. They're playing in front of the Dogs. Jonathan Terms just barges through. He's playing his 50th. The umpire calls for another. Was going to say bounce, but they'll throw that up for the rest of the day. Right on the 50th.
Just a plane of water over the entire ground. Quite amazing.
In there was Primus. Off the ground will go James. Kicks it about a metre. Tries to get it out. Now thrown out to Healy. Beautiful pickup. He'll have a shot from there. And that is so close. Just to the right side. And the Bulldogs 2-3-15. Trail the league 6-3-39.
Now, fellas, there's been a lot of argument this year about players wearing gloves. Today would be perfect. Today would be ideal for
Practical, isn't it? Yeah.
Well, it's going to be like the Bulls, like a bloody slippery pig at the moment. They just need something to be able to grab it. Now, gloves, like today, you can justify it'd be part of your kit. When you got up in the morning, you put your gloves in, your socks and your shorts, etc. It just be a part of your kit to come to football with.
Yes. I don't think the sponsor's contract called for just wet days, though. They've got those little sponges on, apparently, those gloves, and it's a good point. Today would be sensible because it's just so slippery and so hard to get your hands around it. Swirt, some players in long sleeve jumpers, I reckon that'd actually hold you back today, carrying the extra weight underneath it. Fleming stays there, does well to juggle a mark.
Courageous mark, going back into the pack. In these sort of conditions as well, the ball very wet, very hard to take, but a great grab.
Kick short, took the wrist through the centre, found Clements. He's got Maynard wide on, guess this is the way it'll come. Back to Fleming. Maynard does well. He comes forward rather than waiting for the long kick. Intelligent footy. He goes over the top of Growden. Watch for James. He couldn't quite take it. Healy's there as well. Roy Laird comes in late. Gurdon wants it. The ball just rebounding between players. Growden there. McGowan can't do anything. Throws it out. Harvey threw it out. We saw it well. We're on the other side. The umpire was blind to it. Pyman caught. Bounce.
Well, you'll find today that very rarely will they play a holding the ball, surely.
No, I suppose it makes a lot of sense to let the game flow. It's the only way they're going to get any continuity in it. Holding on, the Redlegs with the free kick.
Roger James, beautifully played. He's going to go into Primus. It's all by himself. Won't sit. He's in a bit of trouble here. Now he handballs. Cook over the top. Messed that up. Primus goes back. Now Clements, beautiful handball. Handball to Fleming. Now they've got out of this, he'll go long. Handball's not a good one to McIntosh. Rowe will get this. Throws it onto the boot quickly. Well done, Brian Hereda, but Sam Smart to ground. That's what they do. Kick it forward, round the body. And the ball just stops off the ground. Windsor, and again, kicks himself, falls over, and they've called it a throw.
Fair go, umpire. Fair go. Like the conditions. Like it's in the wet. He's just pushed the ball forward. Like what's he expected to do? Pick it up and then stand up. Well, that time he would have been caught holding the ball, but like he's just trying to bash the ball forward. That is ridiculous.
Pretty crazy decision in front of goal.
At least, 40 yards out or 30 yards out, whatever he is. It's a ridiculous decision.
Well, important kick for the legs. Anthony Pieri got to make every opportunity count. And that right off the side. Through from behind, and when you get them as easy as that on a day like today, you've just got to make them count.
Yes, and the umpires a bit of pressure today. It won't be an easy game to umpire, but it's probably better just to let the players kick the ball off the ground, let it go. Otherwise, the ball just won't move. This is Pyman. Top of the Norwood Oval is just a plain of mud and water. The Dogs back towards centre wing. Hereda can't take it, and the ball is out of bounds. 6-4-40. Norwood, a good lead over Central, 2-3-15. Round 19. The Dogs have won 12-3 and drew against West in the first round. They're in top spot and they lead Norwood in second spot, 11-5. So Norwood have been well performed as well, and geez, they came out pumping, didn't they, Mark, in that in the drier part of the game.
Yeah, they're still controlling the game at the moment. I know it's early days still, and the end of the day might find out a bit, but the Oval's going to remain heavy. But Norwood really at the moment they've got the hand up. I tell you, it's 4 goals in these sort of conditions. Very, very hard to get back.
Gurdon round the body, smothered. Cowan just punches it over the line. And as we said, the Dogs 1.5 games clear on top. Norwood sitting in second spot, only a game in front of North in fourth. So they really do want to keep that double chance alive. Over the top, Primus in the back. Yes, it was. Just straddled Potter. Potter will take the kick, far wing. Kicks a Torp. In front was Maynard. Couldn't grab it, rode a ground. Dantokia just swamped by Cook, Green and Schwert. Umpire Lewis, non-contest there. Throws onto the boot McGowan. Cook doesn't pass. McGowan comes out with it. Throws it onto his boot. Rowe just gives it to McGowan. Growden, I should say. Fleming. Beautiful pick-up. Prime just bustles his way through. Smart, all the time in the world. Harvey. It is just a slog. No player can get a clean take. So in the centre of the ground, and another bounce will take place.
A lot to be said for there's 7 minutes gone in this second quarter. A lot to be said for just playing the percentages, kicking it off the ground, punching it forward, being in front, doing all the basics, and not handling it as not giving off the handball when maybe you can kick. Might not go along with the style of play both coaches want, but they're here to win the points today. A chance for Dantokia out the full. The crowd yelled, but Green would be disappointed if that was the case, and we'll have a throw in. On the 50, defensive for the Redlegs. Arnold in front, or behind now. That was Lures in front. Maynard wrong way, lovely catch.
Maynard goes back, short to McCormack. They've just got to get it and kick it. He goes long to James, and Gurdon will match him up. Well done. McGowan gets the quick give. Healy just handballs to himself. In there. Well done, Jonathan Toome. Gives Rowe a chance, goes short, but unfortunately out of bounds on the full. The ball's going to slip off the boot. So Roy Laird, jumping Jack Roy. just goes short. All by himself was Healy. Bombs it away in front. Oh, too good. No score, but in the end, the ball just didn't fall. Too easy, Norwood. That's a terrible handball, Dantokia. And unfortunately for that Bulldog player, Cowan muffed the chance. And have a look at that. It's not a bad effort.
Really caught one on the head too as he went past afterwards.
Indeed.
He's holding his ears.
So from deep in defence, the Redlegs, they relieve a little bit of the pressure. The kick's badly put. Green runs through 50, has a shot. Toombs underneath it. They've got the numbers again. Fleming's there. Plenty of time to sit and look as Primus, is it? In space.
You just see there, like he's only 35 yards out for goal, and he kicked it 20. That's how heavy the ball is at the moment. And they're going to find out most of the day. Just won't be able to kick a goal from 30 yards out there.
And players, well, you can see the water. If we get a shot of that water in the corner, it's like Hope Valley Reservoir down there. Have a look at that. You'll end up in there, you drown. Half forward for the Dogs. As Mark Nardi was suggesting, just have a look at that. Heavy conditions to the point where it's just so hard to get the ball to another body. Have to play in front. The ball won't go far. Have to read it properly. So the players required to think a bit today, a bit more intelligence maybe. Lewis is there. Oh, too high on Arnold, surely. Off the ground, Maynard. Intelligent play. In front, Prime. Look at that. Clements. This is McIntosh. Handball's good. The run's even better. Maynard. Harvey on the Prime. Just bustle it forward, are the Redlegs. They turn it over, though. Good work, the Dogs. This is Windsor. A chance now in the back of. Hook, not so. Harvey goes backwards. Smart, forward. At half forward. Tyson couldn't take it. Hands and knees, Pieri. Good work. Stevens comes in, upsets the flow. And they go to ground. And what a very, very messy affair.
And you rocket Maynard, he's just running off of Lewis. He's just like even then, he was 25 yards away from him. He's just standing with his hands on his hips. You know, if I was Alan Stewart, I'd be making a move fairly shortly.
Yes, the defensive action very poor on Lewis's part at that stage. Here they are again, the contest. Maynard, Lewis. The numbers are with the Redlegs, it appears. Primus, Dantokia, McIntosh, and they're away.
Off the side of the boot. Looks like he threw it, was Harvey. And there'll be another ball up here. Rowe. Beautifully done, Healy. They're in the mud. As we said, get it and kick it. That's the percentage thing. Norwood on there, 50.
Fair laundry bill this week.
Over the top, Primus. Caught. Schwert can't do anything with it. Ball goes loose, intercepted by Smart. Thrown out, well done, Healy. Kicks it along the ground. Lewis fell over, Maynard. Bit slow, well done, Cook. The Dogs have picked up their intensity a bit here. Wakeman falls over. Toombs, has he got time? Sidesteps, goes short to Dantokia. Toombs in all sorts of trouble. Fleming, Maynard, Harvey. They work it out of defence very well. He'll go short to McIntosh. McIntosh just punches it, couldn't get there. Schwert with the run of it will just take it over the boundary line.
So Laird and McIntosh having a go at each other. It's getting a bit hot.
Like Toombs, an arm in the back, he's pushed him forward. It had to be a free kick.
Yes, it was disappointing, wasn't it? They did well through Cook to get the ball on. Wakeland held his ground and should have been rewarded. So there's still plenty of feeling out there. The only trouble, oh, we go again. McIntosh at the end of that. That was Schwert who came in hard. McIntosh nearly pushed him out into Osmond Terrace just a bit earlier. Through the fence, that is. Windsor, big punch, or was it Healy? I can't see the numbers on the back anymore. This is Dantokia. That was Healy. That was Lewis. He got past both of them, and his kick's a beauty. He's found Rowe on the lead. There's about 5 options. Rowe can't make up his mind. He gets rid of the ball to anywhere, high to the square, and it's straight to Windsor. A chance for Prime. Off the ground. Robert, goal.
Started a half-back flank line. There's some players who play the wet weather football. Dantokia, he's done it twice now. He's come out of the road. He has experience. He just put the ball up, put it forward. He knows the ball hits the ground. When it gets to the ground, it's going to slide. Great work. Just kick the ball forward, bash and crash. Just bash and crash. That's all it's going to be. And look at the umpire. He's enjoyed it too. Big fella's got a goal. Not too often you see a ruckman run in, do you?
Great work. Dantokia from defence. Primus just getting over the top, off the ground. Harvey. Norwood are running beautifully at the moment. Could have been in the back. Prime, beautiful take. Now Tyson around the body. Can he kick it? Yes, he can, but straight down to the throat of Windsor. Windsor goes to the outer side, to no one in particular. So Norwood, with that first major on the board in this term, they go to 7-4, lead the Bulldogs 2-3.
Weather-beaten crowd.
Yeah, I'm surprised that these sort of conditions, you've got to really be a loyal supporter to be out here today.
But you've got to love it, don't you? There's a lot of people just out of picture there that have come without umbrellas, and there's no point going home now because he got absolutely drenched in the first quarter. And McIntosh, there they are, the real heart and soul of SA footy, coming along to support Norwood and the Redlegs in round 19. Their sides are 1 and 2 on the ladder. Stevens couldn't take it. Hereda goes for the boundary line. Rowe tries to do something special. He can't. Doing more work, Norwood, aren't they?
Yeah, we just seem to be calling the same players, don't we? Like they're in there. As I said before, some players can play this sort of, these sort of conditions better than others, and like Rowe is one of them. He's full of every pack. He's there. He's just using the ball so well.
Windsor, deep in defence, goes for the flat punt and puts it up towards Smart. Oh, the wrong way. Takes the grab. What a beautiful piece of work. Lovely hands by Sam Smart. He pushes the ball back in. Over the 50. Robrin tries the impossible. Rowe at the back. Has he caught it? The umpire didn't think so. Rowe says he does. We'll have a look at this in replay.
I reckon Rowe's about 4 deep, isn't he? Nowhere near it. The bloke in front, he couldn't claim that, could he? Just couldn't.
He tried.
Have a fair crack at it. Prime, well offline and out of bounds.
Now that physical size of these blokes, Prime, Perry, those sort of blokes at the moment in these sort of conditions, McIntosh as well, that sort of size body at the moment really is starting to excel. Like, it's pretty hard when the bodies are wet and slippery to sort of drag that sort of player down.
Smart over the top. Reimers, Pyman it was with the right foot, straight down the throat of Harvey, and he's been one of Norwood's best. He's been in the thick of things early, particularly getting the ball out of centre. It goes short, and Sam Smart all by himself, a very acute angle. He could make a big statement here, but he kicks that. Well, I'll get out there and get a kick. Oh, fair dinkum.
It's a Ruckley's day out.
Well, everything going right for the Redlegs at the moment. They go on to 8-4-52, and the Dogs 2-3-15.
Yeah, the balls came out to Harvey. He just rebounded, and all of a sudden, I reckon he just spotted him out there, the big ruckman. He's gone back. He kicked it straight through from an impossible angle for a bloke who's 6 foot. What, he's 6'5", 6'7", whatever he is. And he's put it through like a drive with a day.
You wouldn't expect him to, or the coach Craig wouldn't be happy with the ball going there in the first place, let alone him kicking it. That's the scoreline, 8-4-2-3, and the Redlegs with real command, more so just in their general intensity and their work than anything else. James gets it now. They're going forward out of the centre far too easily. Rowe and Stevens combined. Good work, Stevens. Kept his eye on it, ended up with the win just on the ground, and you can tell that is Craig Cotter. Splattered with mud. He will soon look like the rest of them, and that's almost indistinguishable. Close to the boundary line. Fleming will see it out.
It's probably still in.
Give me a snorkel and goggles.
That's one way to get clean.
Isn't it?
I'll tell you, Mark, that first 5 minutes when Norwood banged on 4 will be the telling factor.
I'll be very surprised if Central can get this back now.
Actually, the boundary umpire was pretty quick there. They gave him a shot at him and said, because the line's covered, he said, I can see underwater. Very good indeed. This is Primus.
Primus to the centre wing, Smart, the target. Reimers just punches with both hands over the boundary line, directly in front of our commentary position.
Now, why would you want to punch like that for? You got front position, he's wearing gloves. First grab on the ball, he should have gone for it.
Primus over the top off the ground with Russell, that Potter in there.
It's an indication of the fact they're a bit rattled.
They are. They've got to do something. I'll tell you now that he has to make some moves. Well, really, honestly, Centrals won't get back at this stage of the game. They're 6 goals down. It's just, this stage of the game, I really can't see much hope for them.
Throw up. Primus in there again. No one gets a decisive tap. Potter over the top again, along with Callum.
So about the other 2 umpires, they're calling for tracksuits, aren't they? Got their hands up. This poor bloke in the middle's doing all the work. The other 2 umpires are standing around doing nothing.
Yeah, they've got the shivers all right. I think they've got the Bonds undies on. It would be absolutely freezing out there. There's a slight breeze too, and it's blowing from right to left of screen. And we can feel it in the grandstand. It's quite cool. I'd hate to have any water on me though. To ground. Oh, the players are locked in battle there.
It's had to happen. There's been, as I said, right from the first quarter, there's been a bit of feeling, and Centrals aren't happy. Like, they have dominated the last sort of half a dozen weeks. They've been, the best side in the competition. They've come out today. Honestly, they're getting whipped at the moment, and they've been beaten at their own game. Like, Centrals normally, very notorious, have been a very good running side.
And they've been
but Norwood, really, Norwood are just controlling the running side of the game. They're quick with their hands. They're making them look second-rate at the moment.
Jumps on it. I think that was Scotter. And I take your point there, Mark. I mean, we've made a lot of comments during this season about just how tough Central have been at the footy. Really based their game.
They've been beaten at their own game at the moment. Norwood have realised that they're, Centrals are hard at the ball and they are very, very good running side. Norwood are matching him.
Harada, Arnold, Healy's got a chance. This is James. Off the ground was Swirt and close to the line before Wine can stop it.
I've got no doubt since Neil Craig, particularly in the last couple of years, has hardened the Norwood Footy Club up. And this year being their most consistent, probably in their last 7 or 8.
Yes, both Neil Craig and Alan Stewart have done a fine job with these 2 sides. They've recruited well, both sides have, and they've got a few Crows back, good balance, and they've performed very, very well in 95. Rowe has been industrious all day. He's been very busy indeed. He's been the best rover on the ground, no doubt about that. This is Laird. Wrong way was Fleming. Didn't take his eyes off the ball. Plenty of carries there.
A great grab. 25-metre penalty. Wakeman's come up to the centre wing. Obviously followed his man.
What was it for, over the line?
Have no idea. Goes for the kick. That's a great effort by Russell. Over the top. Players in everywhere.
Still that feeling something's going to happen pretty soon. I reckon before half-time there's going to be an all in blue. The umpires really now have to, they see anything like that behind play, they've got to pull it up. Pay a free kick.
Windsor's just gone for it. Have a look at this. He's not
told you.
He is.
So
all this behind play.
Now watch number 22. Yep, there's your
an open Barlow. He's got him with the base of his hand, but as I said, it's getting out of hand at the moment. In comes Macca, like he's going to dictate what's going to happen now.
It's Gary McIntosh.
Umpire's going to get control.
Yeah, they do indeed, don't they? It's plenty of words and players. He's got the free kick for a Tyson, and that's all you really want in that situation. You'd be happy to get a belt over there for that.
You wouldn't back him from here, surely, would you?
Oh, he's not a bad shot at goal. He's only about 45 out. Pretty hard kick in front. That's the place to be. The Dogs are there. Down they go in numbers. And these are the times when it'll break out.
Now, what would happen in the AFL right now? If this happened in the AFL, both sides would be fined $15,000. Why didn't this AFL now step in and say, well, OK, we're seeing you this, and we're trying to promote football. We've seen this happening, which is happening out here today. It's behind play.
That's right.
Let's find some clubs.
Well, you saw that article, I think it might have been this morning, but Fitzroy, 10 and 15, they've been fined. 25, it really hurts, doesn't it? Got to sell a lot of chickens at the club to cover that. There's the look. And... oh, it's a 10-year-old's dream, isn't it? Out in that mud, having a slosh around. Up they go. The ball is about 15 metres from the Norwood goals. And the answer to the Dogs' problems is not very clear to Alan Stewart at the moment. I can tell you, Norwood have got a match-winning lead here. They're 8-4, 52. They lead 2-3, 15.
The big Chris Prime there. 3 blokes trying to pull him down. They couldn't get near him.
He's got some size about him. Pierre, Prime, McIntosh. They wear it pretty tough. McCormack's a pretty hard player. They've got some height in that team as well. They've got Fleming, they've got Miller, they've got Maynard, who plays pretty tall, Toombs, not to mention Smart, Primus in the bargain. And the Dogs are pretty well balanced too with pace and height and strength. They just haven't shown it today.
I'm just going to say, I reckon this is the match-winning quarter. You know, by right, Central should have really come back with the breeze.
Yep.
Norwood to come out, they kicked another 2 goals. That's it. It's a match-winning quarter.
As the Norwood chant goes up, legs into attack. Healy, beautifully done off the left. And players just slop and slide. Green, is that holding the ball? No, it isn't. And a lot of pushing and shoving the last 5 minutes, nothing in it. The players just get on with it, get the ball. We're 25 minutes into this second term. There it is.
Arm on the shoulder.
And Matthew Primus, as Mark Nay caught it, has been in front all day.
You caught it right, actually. He's, you know, with ruck work, he's being in front. He really has controlled it so far. He's giving Norwood first, you know, really first touch of the football.
The big fella kicks into the man. McIntosh reads it, just kicks it up and down in the air. Will someone grab this? Maynard was in front. Schwartz gets it out to McGowan. He's tried hard. Onto the left and straight down to Cowan. So the Bulldogs can't get anything going at the moment. Norwood's intensity very good and keep peppering away at the goals.
Cowham's kick to the front of the square. Up goes Prime, couldn't take it. Slick handball was from Robert. Russell had it and cleared out of defence. I think that was Wine that did that. This is Green off the ground, son. That's intelligent. A chance now for Smart. He goes to ground. Maynard's there. Players on the hop, just throwing themselves in. Force it forward, the Dogs. That's good footy. That's the way they've got to do it. It's the way Norwood did it for that most part of this second quarter in more difficult conditions. Toombs is caught with a good hard work by Girdham, and the bodies go in. And really, that's what you want, isn't it? You want their bodies in hard, stay away from the pushing, shoving and punching. They've really just got to get the footy, Mark.
But you expect from the 2 top sides, just the blokes are having a red-hot go, and they're just throwing the great courage shown by both sides so far in these sort of conditions.
Rain still falling. And we're at half forward for the Dogs. And Swirt couldn't take it. This is Russell around the corner. Laird, first to it. Reimers, Prime goes late, can't get it. The kick's away on that eastern boundary line. Dantokia, the punch. Swirt around the corner. Arnold, wrong way, almost. Saw Smart take a beauty before. That was McGowan. Oh, great catch, James. Beautiful evasive skills. He gets his leg, left foot, underneath it, Stevens, he takes the catch.
Stevens, centre of the ground. He's going to go wide to Healy over the top. Cotter it is. Oh, beautifully done, James. We'll push it over the line. As the siren sounds, Roger James goes for a swim.
Have a look at this.
Oh, God, look at it. The River Torrents.
Don't you love it? The Redlegs are 8-4-52. They lead the Dogs 2-3-15 at Norwood Oval. All the action's on ABC Sport.
And welcome to the parade, where the Legs lead by 37 points after having a 25-point buffer at quarter time. And the umpire, Mick Abbott, throws the ball up. Primus has been tremendous in ruck. So has Growden. Beautifully done, kick forward. The central defence has been under all sorts of pressure all day. It kicks off the ground. Rowe also been in everything. On the left, goes to the head of the square. Prime, one hand, can't tackle that. Potter picks up, throws onto his boot. He's got a couple forward, they can't grab it. Off the ground, looks like it was a throw, and the umpire has called it just that. So McGowan, probably been the Bulldogs' best, goes forward. The ball just sits there. The Dogs cook. Green, oh, look at these Dogs, all their wind. Can he get it on? It kicks off the ground, into the path, off the ground. Oh, it doesn't go anywhere. And I just can't see who it was that kicked it off the ground. Rushed through.
I'll put you on the spot, Mark Nayley. Can they get back the Dogs? They've been the best performed side in the competition this year. They look a lot. They don't look like it today, though.
Well, we saw the first quarter. The strong breeze, and Norwood took advantage of it. Okay, they kicked 6 goals in the first quarter. Expected Central to come out, but in the rain, it just bucketed it down here. And really, like, it's a match-winning score at half-time. 6 goals in these sort of conditions, they won't get back.
Okay, so the Dogs really have the job ahead of them. Free kick. Lewis is about 10 metres past, about 60 metres out. Cook couldn't take it. McCormack from. And Clements doesn't like it, but the umpire has given up the free to Central. And
he's too far out.
Yes,
these sort of conditions, 45 metres, it's just going to be beyond, with the heavy ball, which it would be even. Okay, they're only playing a couple of minutes, but the ball is just, these sort of conditions.
Clements
just won't
and
make
Green.
it. I'd be in front up there.
There's Clements and Green just trying to rearrange each other's makeup at the moment. From 40 metres, Cook comes in, bangs away at it. He's just got the distance, it looks like. And they've opened up well, the Dogs. Cook's kicked the first goal in the third quarter.
Well, he proved me wrong. I said he would make the distance all of a
sudden.
sudden. He's gone through.
I guarantee you.
But he got it there. Okay, the free kick was there. But, great kick. And that might just be what Central's need. They just might need to get that first one. But, okay, they're still 5 goals down. I'll just wait and see, I think.
And tonight at 5:30, World Netball Championships, Australia v New Zealand. Primus again, the Bulldogs have started well. Quick kick. McCormack has done that well. And exactly the same, umpire, very consistent. McCormack, the offender last time, now the recipient. Goes long off the hands, is smart. Can he get it on to Clements? He can, that's too high. And that's held him up.
It was a good tackle.
Yeah, high tackle. There's still that feeling out there. You can still sense that the players are still not, there's no love lost between these two sides at the moment. You expect the game between Port and Norwood to be like this, but at the moment Central's, they are frustrated.
They're at each other, aren't they?
Ball to ground, hanging on. Umpire calls it back. The free kick to Pyman. Right inside Norwood's 50. Goes wide. In front over the top was Fleming. Can't pick it up. McIntosh in there. So is Cowham. Rowe. They're on top of him is Potter. Umpire calls for another bounce. So the Bulldogs, they need to do something this term if they're ever going to have any chance in the final stand.
Stephen Rowe, bit to say. He's been a good player for Norwood in that first half. Been very, very busy indeed. Got a lot of the footy. We're at centre wing on the eastern boundary. And the margin is 30 points in favour of Norwood. The Dogs have kicked the first goal this quarter. And it might be the mark or a spark for them to get back in the game. Green sends it up towards the 50. Primus just delicately kicks it out of bounds. That is deliberate. Absolutely no doubt about that. And we're live at Norwood Oval. And there's plenty of water and mud here, I can tell you. It's a winter's day of footy. Round 19 between 1 and 2. Norwood have lost 5, won 11. And the Dogs are 12 and 3 with 1 draw against the Bloods in the first round. So Michael Aish, would you think that the Dogs can get back? Mark Naley doesn't believe they can.
Well, I don't think they can. They can certainly put in a second half a little bit better than they did in the first. To kick 6 goals under the conditions like this, when they've kicked 2 for the first half, is going to be very difficult and hold Norwood to next to nothing.
Yes, I'd have to agree with both your comments. I think it's a fair ask of them, but
they are playing better.
They are.
I've just sensed it now that the players are running a lot harder than they were in the first half, which was their downfall. They just weren't working hard enough in that first half.
So they forced the ball forward. Everybody, there's quite a few new numbers. I noticed that Maynard's got 58 on.
It's making it very hard, isn't it?
It is making it hard. Get even harder in a minute, I can tell you, as it gets darker and they get muddier again. McGowan's got a different number. I think he's got 39. We'll pick them up for you as we go. Arnold, 26 is the same call. And we'll have a bounce. The chance come for Central.
I was going to say, what oval were we at?
Yeah.
Is it Elizabeth or was it Norwood?
They're here in numbers, aren't they? There's a fantastic crowd here at Norwood Oval today. The game has been diluted, and I think that's not metaphorical, it's quite literal by the rain, but the crowd have still come. It's been a fabulous game. 38 is Swert. He normally wears 40, just goes to left of pitcher. He won't be that clean for very much longer, and we'll have another ball up. 30 points separates them. 10 minutes into this second half at Norwood Oval.
The Dogs into attack. They've kicked the first for the quarter. Norwood yet to score. Cook, Rowe, McIntosh now normally does something with it. He's going to be swamped. Can't do anything with it. And both sides tackling fiercely at the moment. The crowd call for holding the ball. So the Bulldogs obviously got a rev at half-time, wanted a bit more commitment, Coach Stewart, and they've certainly done that to date. Primus, McIntosh, and another ball up. Mackin not too happy about that, just tells the umpire what he thinks.
Number 55, Mackin normally wears 14. He's been in a few wars today. He's had a clash with Squirt earlier in that second quarter and nearly put Squirt in the outside boundary. Then he went through the fence. And there we saw a clash between Windsor and Tyson. There's been plenty of feeling. And Stephen Squirt, veteran of about, what's he got, about 152 games with Central, and played a number with the Crows as well. Girdham on the ground, hands and knees, so often is.
Girdham not as prominent as in recent weeks.
You'd think this game would suit him, wouldn't you, today, mate?
Well, it's just that sort of condition. Like he's a short player. He's very, very quick. But today he hasn't really been noticed, has he? Like he hasn't been out there. McIntosh and they're on, well, Norwood's on balls really have been the difference between the two sides.
Too right, they have. They've made enormous difference. They've done the work. And down the bay, the Tigers by 20 points down there, and boy, they need this win. West got the edge over the Double Blues, 42, round 19. They're yet to win. Adelaide, of course, last night. They're up by 11 points. This is Windsor, it looked like. Big jump over the back, green goal. They needed that, 2 in a row. Maybe, just maybe they're on the way back.
Yeah, it's just a kick like you expect a normal day, 40 yards out, you expect to get there, but it's just forced it forward. And the Central's players were behind, but luckily enough the ball's come over the back and they've scored another goal. But honestly, they're playing better football.
Got some numbers too.
Yeah, they're getting some numbers around the pack, but Norwood unlucky. They're at the front of the pack, they're in the right position for the ball to come forward. Central players will cheat a little bit, they'll stand in behind, but luckily enough for them. And the game is based on luck, isn't it? Be correct.
Certainly agree with it. No doubt about that. They're on their way back, Aishi, I think.
Exactly, Neville, 9 minutes in. They've kicked the first 2. And Norwood haven't been into attack at all. And another bounce in the centre. The Dogs a little bit more aggressive. Primus over the top. And the crowd jeer. Matthew Primus. Umpire calls for him to go over the mark. Goes short. Clements. And Clements will go short to Cowell. Goes direct. Smart in front. Punch from behind. Prime McIntosh. McIntosh just bulldozed his way through. Held up by Girdham. So Norwood into the attack for probably the first time. Just inside their 50. And the Bulldog defence has been under enormous pressure. Again, another ball up.
Yes, it's a game of hard work at the moment, and the rain has eased, but the conditions are certainly not improved. Girdham goes to ground.
How can he play that? I know it was on, but like in these sort of conditions, there just isn't such a thing as holding the ball.
Got to let it go, don't you, Tyson? Kick 2 in the first. Haven't seen a lot of him since. Caught with the footy was Harvey, or Russell that was. He tries to spoil Reimers with his feet, hands and knees Tyson. Thrown out of the picture was Cowan. They're here in numbers now, the Dogs. They look a lot better and they're working harder. Cotter in there doing a lot of work, as was Stevens, playing in defence these days. Unaccustomed as he might be to it. 10 minutes, third quarter. The Dogs have kicked a couple. They'd like to keep Norwood scoreless until they get the next one, I'm sure. The ground was Cotter. Diving over the top was Pyman. He's done a good job. Good tackle, Stevens, on Harvey, out of bounds. Overcast, wet and wintry. And I can tell you there's a lot of people here. Have a look at that. There's to be a laundry nightmare this week for the wives of players. Stevens, a quick kick. Rowe, Pyman, Cook did well. Kicked the first this quarter. Stevens and they're out of strife.
Stevens to the centre. Maynard punches, goes over the top. McCormack goes the handball, goes the kick, I should say. Held up. James, beautifully done. Clements is held on to. And that's well done, Roger James.
Good work, though, by Potter to hold him up.
Certainly was.
Gave the kick away, but stopped the play.
Goes short. Oh, can't handle it is Maynard. Maynard, the handball go out of bounds. So Norwood a little bit indirect at the moment. As we said, the Bulldogs 37 points in arrears at half-time. And we're live through South Australia and the Northern Territory, and I'm sure you're all enjoying what we are. It's a pretty entertaining game. Rowe can't get it. It's Cowan, it looked like over the top. The umpire will call for another bounce.
Yes, and as we get some warm coffee here at Norwood Oval, I can tell you we're all shivering up here. It is a foul day in Adelaide. Well, that's what winter footy is about. You've got to win them in the
umpire's being consistent now, isn't he? Okay, I was holding a ball before here across the centre half forward. Now he's given one to Central District. At least he's being consistent with it.
Paid it each way. In fact, paid back Girdham. He was the player that lost it before. Prime's hands and knees. He's been a real influence in just pushing the ball forward in the forward line. And Norwood hold the footy up centre wing. It's a tough day out, isn't it, when you're playing in conditions like these? It's a real test of your own, personal strength and endurance.
Well, it really is. Like, it's, the players that are going to perform well are, the players around the ball, the blokes that are very quick with their hands, and blokes that are, like the smaller running on players, really the ones that dominate. Like Rowe has been exceptional form up to half time. So has McIntosh. Those two have been dominating. Where Centrals haven't had that. But all of a sudden, I've just sensed that a few of their blokes good, and that are starting to get into the game. It's good to see.
Stewart's obviously challenged them at half time, Michael, and they're responding to it. They're the best performed team we've seen this year.
They're a beautiful side with balance. They've got strength, quickness, and plenty of height. And they're sitting on top of the ladder, so why wouldn't they bounce back? Norwood lead by 24 points.
He hates giving the ball up, doesn't he, Mac? Even to the umpire, he hates it.
It's part of his football culture. I think he just likes to stare you in the eye. Tries to get something out of it. He draws out of you.
McGowan has done well, but kicks that as a grubber. Green has got all the time in the world to get rid of it.
The umpire's going to be consistent. That was holding the ball.
Umpire calls play on. Cowan over the top of it. Girdham will wrap him up. Clements. Fleming hasn't got it. And the umpire calls for another bounce.
I know it's difficult conditions, but a player of McGowan's capabilities got to be a little bit more careful when he's kicking the ball. Like, lose a real opportunity there to grab that one into the pack. Kind of goes backwards. This time he is a bit more careful and gets a bit more distance.
McGowan, a chance here.
A chance for the Dogs centre wing, and forward goes Hereda to the safety of the line. Bravehearts.
It amazes me, especially on these sort of days, the players that have been good have been the ones that keep their feet and bend down and pick the ball up. And I've seen today blokes running into packs and just, they're trying to sort of hold the ball up, or they start socking it. I know there's time to sock the ball, but the opportunity there, he could have bent his back down and picked the ball up.
Yes, it's all about decisions. Football isn't making the right one at the right time, and it's like lightning. As I said earlier, the Bravehearts of footy in South Australia. There's Dogs here. There's
the only way to keep him warm.
That's just probably right. Whip up a storm, a bit of aerobics in the grandstand, and another ball up. Stop-start footy. But it's pretty tough. All the action live on ABC Sport throughout Northern Territory and South Australia.
Robber moved to centre half forward, Prime to full forward. They were just making the changes. The Dogs lifting their intensity, getting first to the ball. And there'll be another ball up. 35 metres on about a 45-degree angle from the Bulldogs' goals.
And that looks at the bottom of the pack. There was a Potter, McIntosh. But Potter's been quiet today. I thought he would have dominated in these sort of conditions, but he has been quiet.
He seems to be concentrating more on McIntosh than maybe on his own game. It's the best pressure to put on your opponent is to get the footy, I guess, isn't it?
And what's going to happen under these conditions, with the continuance of the ball being thrown up, the umpire will pick out a free kick, so you've got to be in front, and he may pay one that isn't there.
Hasn't been a great tussle between the two big fellas.
There's Tokia, straight to McGowan.
He's
paid the grab. So another opportunity for the Bulldogs. It's not a bad kick. Oh, great grab. McCormack going the wrong way.
Yeah, courage. It's just courage. And this is what, that's a good size. I mean, not good size, but players that are going to be, really, that is just great. Yeah. Great for Norwood. Players around him will lift. Just seeing a player like
Gives
that,
him a big lift
take a mark going back.
And the updates, Glenelg by 14 points. And look at that, West Adelaide, you could do with a percentage, 54 points in front of the Double Blues. And North only by 1 straight goal.
Yes, and the Eagles, a win over West Adelaide last week, and looking like they might have steadied a little bit. They're a shocking season, haven't they, the Eagles?
Been up and down. Yeah. They won a couple, but gee, it's taken a while to win a few. But it's good for the competition, isn't it? Like they're around the mark again, which is good.
Primus and Arnold in ruck again. The ball goes to the back of the pack. That was McGowan who got a quick kick away. And the unfamiliar 58 is Maynard on his bum.
Oh, jeez, how bad's that?
Spotted around.
Blue on the wing over here. As I said, there's some feeling out here. They're not happy.
Plenty of feeling. We saw quite a few incidents. He's been in a few, Clements too. He's a bit fiery. And there's another one at half back, out of screen. McIntosh has got the ball. Prime and I think it's Windsor are having a go. You can't see it. This is Robran and Hereda. Good work, Robran. Sells the dummy. Short kick forward, and the kick is taken by Cowan at half forward. He's got a decision to go, short or long. Takes the ladder as long as he can. Stevens underneath it. He needs some help. Prime is there. The Redlegs have got some numbers. Robran's making a difference. The ball is quick. Toombs, a long way from goals where he normally sits, and Tierson sees it out. So Toombs has gone forward from fullback. Let's have a look at tonight at 5:30. We have the World Netball Championships between Australia and New Zealand. Make sure you tune in for that.
And the throw in over the boundary line again. Stephen Rowe will follow that through. And at 10 o'clock tomorrow morning, we have Adelaide Lightning versus the Melbourne Tigers in the Women's Basketball League. Smart. McIntosh. Umpire. The crowd want a free kick. Mackin puts his body on the line. Well done, Rowe. Beautifully done. Pyman hanging on. Yes, it is. Just a little bit late, Crowden. So the Bulldogs playing in front, starting to do a bit more run. Short kick. Fleming can't do it. Stevens has done well from defence. Goes, giving Lewis the run of the ball. Dantoki will come out. He needs to glove it. Does it beautifully. Goes short. Not a good kick. Have a look at this. It's defensive. It's tough. Falls over it.
You just don't get pretty, do you? It's not, I mean, these sort of conditions, you don't look for that short pass, or you don't look for that, the handle for a player running past. It's just a matter of getting the ball in the boot and get it forward. Give your side half a chance to get the ball up there.
Switching the play in these conditions is terribly dangerous. Kicking short in defence is always dangerous. And then your points well taken in these sort of conditions. Just a boot to it, force it forward, stay in front, do the percentage things.
He's worked hard today, Russell.
Yes, Russell.
He's worked very, very hard.
Kicked the goal first quarter. He covers a lot of ground. And he quite often is at the bottom of packs just like that. Well, you can see the surface of Norwood Oval. It wasn't too bad before that first quarter drenching, but now there's quite a bit of water sitting on top of it. Primus got the knock on that occasion and working very, very hard. At the bottom of the pack is a dog, and I think it's McGowan. He's thrown some mud around. There's plenty to throw around. Got a few things to say as well.
McGowan been a good player for the Dogs. Tried his heart out. The quick kick out, Roy Laird just sits in that spot. Wheel around onto his left foot. Goes to centre forward position. Toombs. Oh, too easy. And Windsor takes it easy as you like. And for a full back, you want to body him and body him.
That's the first easy catch they've taken up there.
Now Windsor's going for a shot at goals. He's 50 yards out.
Tumble punt. Dantokia does it well. Growden takes one bounce, puts it on the ground, goes long but kicks it straight back to Laird. So Norwood under a bit of pressure at the moment. And that's another short kick. It's not going to come off. Intercepted, thrown out. Maynard. Just get it, kick it, and Harvey does exactly that. Rowe, can he glove it? That is holding the ball. The umpire's called play on. And in there again is Rowe, tackled by Laird in the centre of the ground, and another throw.
Now we've seen it again. Like Central's came across from the wing, then cut it towards centre. Why do it? Like the runner should be out. You know, either pull the player off or just tell him what he's done wrong. But you just don't go. I mean, it's not a day to be pretty.
Potter on the bottom of the pack again. McIntosh wraps him up. And Norwood, well, they haven't scored this term. And the Bulldogs, they've kicked 2 goals, 1. Off the ground again. Schwerk gets the run of it. McGowan in there again. Arms, legs, go everywhere. So, there's the score. 22 minutes in, 8-4-52. The Bulldogs 4-4-28.
There's 24-point margin here at the parade in favour of the Redlegs. There's 37 points at half-time, and they've certainly they've cut that back through more diligent effort.
And Arnold's done that all day long, hasn't he? He just keeps grabbing hold of him, he's putting his arms over the top of him, and he's been caught again. Good umpiring.
Pyman this time, puts it to ground. The crummer is Harvey. Away they go, this time through Cow towards half forward. Anita Crummer, the Redlegs. At the back of the pack is Robrin. Harada's there. He's got support in Wakeland. Rowe to Robrin. There's beautiful work. Over the top. Tyson. Open goal. His third. And a bit too easy, the Redlegs.
Yeah, we call it again like that player again. Rowe, as we said before, he just loves this sort of weather and excels in it. Now here, just get it out. Just kick it, do anything with it. But Rowe, look at this. Keeps his feet, stays on the deck, gives it to Robin. Great hands across, and there he gets his 3rd goal for the game. Great stuff, Tyson. He was there on the end of the chain, but as I said, Rowe, at the moment, they're more experienced players in Rowe and McIntosh really are a lot better than the more experienced players in Central Districts at the moment.
30 points separates the two sides, and the Dogs, despite what they've done this quarter, the Redlegs not letting go of this lead. McGowan out of the centre of the ground. He's given Cotter, it looks like, the run of the ball. Closing on him was Harvey. High ball. Dantokia over the top. Windsor, back of the pack. Maynard, great tackle. Holding the ball they want. Dantokia sells the dummy to Swerk. Goes towards McCormack. Out of bounds they'll go. Great defensive work, the Redlegs. They team pretty well indeed.
Look at Maynard. He's really put it in. He's put the short ones in. He's gone through the mud. He loves his conditions. Country boy. Look at him. Gets down. It wasn't holding the ball, but it was a great effort by Maynard.
Yes, these conditions make it a dry day in Lamoureux, where Rodney comes from, and he certainly enjoys it. McGowan on the back of the pack. Up he gets. One of the most skillful players in the competition. Primus, caught out of the ruck.
And Matthew Primus, well, we've said it once, we've said it a few times. He's played in front all day, and the umpires give him a few frees.
See Arnold again, he's hanging on.
Fleming dives. Dantokia can't control it. He'll dive on top of it.
The umpires will just nab him all the time now.
Yeah, one thing I have noticed, the wind's dropped. Like the first quarter, it was at least about a 4 or 5 goal breeze down the north end. At the moment, the breeze is sufficient. It's going straight across the ground, and I reckon there'll be nothing in it. I reckon maybe a goal, possibly to the southern side, but the Centrals really need a goal. And this goal, Centrals get it, they've got half a chance, I think.
It was quite a strong breeze going to left of screen. Norwood won the toss, or McIntosh won the toss, elected to go with it. And they had a fabulous first quarter. They kicked 6. They took a lead of 4-1, 25 points at quarter time. They led by 37 at half time. They currently have a 30-point lead. It's the Tigers by 7 points at the Bay. West are very clearly nearly 10 goals ahead of Sturt at the current time. And the Eagles, they trail by 8 points behind North Adelaide, who are enjoying a fantastic season. Lost the first 5 and have had a great run since. Ball out of bounds, half-forward line for the Dogs.
When you talk about recruits, Clive Waterhouse, not recruits, best first-year players. Waterhouse has been very good, but also Roger James is right up there with him.
Time on here at Norwood Oval. Tough work, Potter, as he tried to go through the pack. Growden's been caught. He's been busy, Growden too. Mark, you might not have seen a lot of him this year, but he's quite a talented player. He does a lot of work.
Yes, you have. He's hard at the ball and very courageous. Like what I've seen so far in the first half, he was at it. He just showed no fear.
And 25 minutes into this third term, Schwert gets it forward. McCormack to Fleming. He throws it to Dantokia. The umpire calls play on. Cowham in there. And a free kick for hanging on. That'll go to Dantokia, and again, the best and fairest from last year has been exceptional across the half-back line.
As I said, the ball is like a slippery pig and just nobody can grab it in that sort of mud at the moment.
Oof. And three-quarter time here at the parade. Norwood 9-4-58. 30 points in the front of Central's 4-4-28. That third term mark, really, Central's did come out. They provided a bit more, but that last goal that Norwood did get just settled the Redlegs a bit.
Let's get back to Norwood Oval, and the game here is on the way. 9-4-58, Central are 4-4-28, a 30-point margin as Norwood have got this game absolutely by the throat at the moment, and they've toughed it out. Central came back at them in the third quarter, but to no real avail. Underneath it, Stevens, he takes the mark and he's well in defence. Unaccustomed we are to seeing him in that position, but he's been pretty steady there. And he sends the ball back to centre wing. Primus has got it. And I'll hand over to Michael Ashe, who's now very, very comfortably in the commentator's position.
Primus has been superb. Goes as long as you can in the wet. Over the top was Healy, couldn't grab it. Reimers all the time you like. Just goes short. That'll scare. That's in the back. It's line all over the top of him. Well, Mark Naylor just fell on it.
What does he call that?
Eh?
What does he call that? It had to be. He's sitting on top of the ball, hitting the ball into his chest. The Nord player wasn't. Wasn't sort of, trying to kick the ball in there.
The umpires have been pretty good today. I missed a couple, but under the conditions, they've done a fair job. The free kick, McIntosh hands it back to Rowe. Rowe's going to go, kicks into the man on the mark. It's a beautiful smother. Cook throws it to Green. Green with the left foot to centre wing. Primus just kicks it on the ground. Beautiful shepherd by Clements. He'll run that over the boundary line as easy as you like. So Stephen Rowe had an opportunity to go into attack, and that's one thing that you don't see too many of, a senior player doing that.
No. Well, just, he has played a good game. Okay, he's entitled to make a couple of mistakes. But the big fella, big Primus, I'm very impressed with his game today.
Yes, he's one of the more valued players in the country, isn't he, at the moment? Oh, Maynard tried to give off after this catch and bungled it. But they've won it back, the Redlegs. They've got plenty of support. Dantokia dribbles one along the ground. Cowan will go ahead of Potter. Potter to ground. Dantokia. There's the run and the follow-up that Mark Naylor's referred to all day. Rowe. That is a throw.
Well, that's his second mistake. He's allowed two, I said.
Allowed two only. And,
he's done the right thing. He's got in the right position. Central's bloke has just got very desperate, just trying to pull him down. He's off balance, but Rowe, he's done the work. Been the top sort of three today by far.
Too right, and Cotter has the footy back towards centre wing. They jump high. Maynard over the back of Lewis, gets the spoil, and the crumb from Fleming. Rowe is very close to the boundary line. The two of them managed to keep it in, though. Rowe just kicks it 60 metres in the air. Underneath it, McCormack has it. Beautiful take.
There's he gone. He's just thrown himself in the air over the top of the Central's player. He just pulled a fantastic chest mark.
Eyes on it. Here he is again. Quick kick away. And we haven't witnessed pretty football today, but it's certainly been pretty tough here at the parade. And at the Bay, Michael, the Tigers by
7 points. It's a good game down there. And West absolutely belting Sturt. They've been the chopping block by 79 points. And North Adelaide by 14 points over the Eagles. We're on centre wing. Girdham can't control that. And speaking of Roger Girdham, when you look at the stats over the year, two Central Districts players in Girdham and Schwert lead the tackles, 47 and 43 respectively for the season. And it just shows those on-ballers for the Dogs have been very good all year. McIntosh will run that over the boundary line as easy as you like. And isn't that beautiful? Have a look at that. Two lovebirds, and Neville, I few years ago, you would have been to that. Just
What? A few years ago, I've been in what? What, sitting in the outer watching the footy getting wet? I don't think so. And Calv has the footy.
How many free kicks has he got today? Primus, he's been playing in front, which is, you know, any young kid who's any idea of how to, you know, who wants to be a ruckman, just watch this young lad. He's been playing in front the whole day.
Yes, he's certainly been a star for Norwood this year, and without him, they'd be lost. His future is obviously in the AFL long term, but he's contributed great things to Norwood certainly through this season.
talking of the AFL, Mark, you've seen him today. I don't know if you've seen a lot of him during the year. Is he good enough for AFL football?
He's a kid. Like, he's only a kid still, but he has got huge potential. I know that word, you've got to be careful about saying it, but he knows how, his hand the ball, he's very good palming the ball down to his players, he knows where they are, but he knows he just wants to play in front, and he fights hard for the front position. Now, you watch the best ruckman in the competition, whether it's Madden or whether it's Wind, etc.
Yep.
For Footscray, they work so hard to get front position, and he's very, very good at that.
And he does a lot of work around the ground as well.
He's gets back. Well, you just saw him over here a minute ago on the wing. He was, racing around like a rover. But
and
he will mature.
And he's been well coached. I mean, he's not wasting his time in the club. He's been well coached. And there's a little snapshot of the multitudes at Norwood Oval on the parade, and all here to support Central and Norwood collectively. $15,000 has been offered up by Gordon Pickard of Fairmont Homes, and $3,000 for the Foundation Cup winner. All in all, a booty of $18,000. That had a few extensions to the home at Mylor, Michael.
Yes, it's actually a chunk, and they're underwater at the moment, as the parade is.
Well, your house is so big and your property's so big, I think it runs between Mylor and Achunga, doesn't it?
No, that's not correct at all. There's the skipper, Girdham.
Testimonial money, was it?
Girdham, been a fine player. Bit quiet today, but he's had some fair opponents in McIntosh in particular. Quick kick, they're going to attack. Lewis can't wrap that up. Taps it out, Maynard off the ground. McGowan, he's probably been the Dogs' best performed player. He's been on the bottom of most packs. He's got a fair amount of touches. And right on the 50 as Toombs goes back.
The pressure just got off the game, but that desperation has just gone. Like, you just notice the players are looking tired, they're starting to struggle, they're just getting up out of a pack. It's just taking so much time.
The heat's gone out of the game, I agree with you there, Mark.
Even the lights on the scoreboard are coming on. That's how dark it's getting out here.
Yes, and I doubt it'll be too long before they turn the main lights on. If maybe the Nord account will have something to say about that. They're not cheap to turn on. McGowan over the top is good footy. Cook's under pressure. He gets it away ahead of Fleming Smother. A chance now. Primus doing the work deep. And Wine tries the impossible and doesn't succeed. But he does add a point to the Central scoreboard. They now trail by 29 points.
Now, Guardi's been quiet today as well. As I said, Nord on balls really have dominated. And a play with his experience, especially playing in Melbourne, like, you don't play on fine the grounds over there. He should have excelled today.
His size and profile, I agree with you.
But I haven't seen him. He hasn't been, like, I've noticed him in the forward lines a couple of times, but I really haven't seen any work out of him around the ground.
So across the ground, dangerous stuff. This is Maynard. He was clever enough to get it away, but that's the danger of being pretty, as Mark Nayley called it earlier in the day. Percentage football only in these conditions. Pretty tough tackling by Norwood. Clements was in there, so too was, I should say, Harvey. McGowan just stole it. It's a good tackle, though, wasn't it? Was that Maynard? I couldn't quite see. This is Clements. He goes to ground. Green's there. In comes McIntosh. You won't recognise him in his 55. He normally wears 14.
Just desperation once again by Maynard. The Crows should be get hold of this tape today and watch Maynard. He's been exceptional. Like, he's run off his player today. He's done everything right, and just there, like that desperation to pull the Central player down. He just threw himself at the body and he dragged him and saved. They could have saved a goal.
But actually, when you talk about Maynard coming back to Norwood and getting settled, he had played in the forward line and so on. He's come off the bench, but he is playing more confidently now. He looks a better player than he did a month ago.
Well, these sort of conditions very, very hard to play, and he has played well. Like, he has done the job. He's brought on halfway through the first quarter to stand a very dangerous player in Lewis, and he's done the job and he's beaten him hands down.
McGowan goes backwards. The Dogs towards goal, touched on the line, and only centimetres between that and a bit of ecstasy for the Dogs as the light fades at Norwood Oval. There's fog in the hills, there's water and mud on the ground, and there's a 28-point margin between Norwood and Central. Best man on ground, nearly, Stephen Rowe.
Rowe. Ground can't wrap that up. Girdham over the top of him. And that is a fantastic play. And just remember, the netball is on at 5:30 tonight. Australia versus New Zealand. And of course, Australia performing pretty well. And tomorrow morning at 10 a.m, the Women's National Basketball League, Adelaide Lightning versus the Melbourne Tigers.
Forward they go again. The Dogs interfered with, though, again by McCormack.
How far can he run?
Very good game. He's got about 30 metres out of that one. Reimers, Cotter, and almost drive with a style there as they hand it off. Wind on the far side. Oh, he should have bent down to pick that up. And Tokia was there. Potter through hard. Maynard goes backwards to McIntosh. He won't waste it. He just sinks the boot into it. Gets yardage. Good work. Up is Reimers. Down they go. Clements is in there, and we'll have a ball up centre wing.
One player in particular that has really strengthened the Norwood backline is McCormack. Courage. He'll go into any attack, and he's tough and ruthless when the opposition have got the ball.
Yes, he's been a good get, hasn't he? And along with Tyson, they've recruited pretty well. You had Miller, Fleming and so on over the last few years, and Norwood have really boosted their stocks. Primus again.
The Central's player was, I reckon, 50 yards out. He's hit Primus 20 yards in front of him.
It's a pretty poor kick, and the conditions are such, but a bit more care maybe. Green, great tackle by, that was James. A chance now on the ground is Cotton. This is 22, he used to be. Windsor, 39. And he had his jumper ripped off him, Windsor, earlier in the game, and a little brief tussle with James Tyson, who eventually got a free kick out of that one.
Throw in. Cotton does the ruck work, can't do it. Cook had the ball. 38 is Schwert. Harvey's in there, so is Fleming. Quick kick smothered. Rowe will just kick that out of bounds, and they have been very lucky, the Redlegs, with a lot of their kicks going just to hit inside the boundary line. And coming up later, the highlights, Glenelg versus Port Adelaide from the Bay.
Yes, and we'll have a chat to Michael Noonan as he talks a little bit about the great man, Jack Odie. And we'll talk to David Mackay and Stephen Trigg down at the Bay on matters of Crows, their game last night, about Robert Shaw and his attitude towards players going back to the SNFL.
Bounce again. Harvey in there. So is Green and Laird. And it's been a tough, hard game.
The game's over, fellas, I think. I'm afraid to say it's 5 goals down.
What do you want to go?
I can't see Centrals at this stage. Okay, we're only 10 minutes in, but there's just there's no desperation from them. I know it's hard, it's been a tussle out there. We really haven't played too many wet weather days this year, but the blokes' legs must be getting tired. I just can't see them getting 5 goals.
I tell you, at the moment, Norwood, Stephen Rowe, I know he's got hold of the ball. This could be dangerous. Hanging on, very lucky in the end. Fleming.
Oh, look behind the goal square. There is the Centrals. They're throwing streamers, they're throwing everything at them. Trying to hit the umpire.
Yes, I agree with your comments, Mark. The pace of the game is gone, and Central are offering nothing at the moment. Norwood have got this game by the throat. They seem fitter. They're still getting numbers around the footy, and they're still pretty keen about making this margin as large as possible. They won't rest on their laurels today. This is pretty significant as Fleming goes backwards to Rowe. This is good. Now, Rowe has a bit of a think about things and tell himself to keep it low. He did that well. The ball is close to the boundary line. It's still in, and if you haven't got a swimming pool, this will do for now. To ground goes James. He was taken there by Windsor. And in terms of the overall season's status, I suppose, this is a real psychological advantage for Norwood going into finals, isn't it?
Okay, they've had 2 good wins out of this year. Yeah, they had Port, which is a big game, big build-up. Okay, they're going to be the 3 sides supposedly playing off for the grand final this year. They've beaten Port quite well. And okay, they've taken on Centrals out here today, but it'll be a different thing playing on Footy Park on a fine day. Like, I reckon it was a fine day today. You might have seen the speed and the pressure, more pressure from Centrals. But Norwood have played, they played this game. They played wet weather football better than the other side that I know.
At home too, it does help as we shiver along with the rest of the what would be probably around about 8,000 people at Norwood Oval today. Good turnout for the local footy, and Scotty Stevens in picture. Ball up almost in the centre of the ground. Conway. This is Primus again. Caught with it, Reimers. Nowhere to go. McCallum's there. It's like a rugby scrum as they work the ball forward inch by inch or centimetre by centimetre. And another ball up, have we?
Wouldn't you hate to be out there at the moment? Like, I just couldn't. I can't remember playing football
Hey,
like this before. I'm going to play once in Kangaroo Island. We played Glenelg.
Mate, on the money you used to play for, you'd love to be out there.
Oh, it'd be terrible.
14 minutes into this final term, and the Redlegs by 28 points.
It's about now you start thinking about hot showers, and I think the Dogs would be happy for this game to be well and truly over at the moment.
Healy picks it up. Growden falls on it. Out to McCormack. He can't handle it cleanly. And over the boundary line it goes. And we're live through South Australia and the Northern Territory. Is that live?
You say it any way you feel comfortable with,
Live.
Michael.
I think it'll be a bit warmer up there today, too, up in Northern Territory.
And we're also live at the parade, where those Redlegs fans are probably a little bit warmer than the Bulldogs ones.
Yes, there's an example of what the average footy punter has to put up with on a winter's day, and they're a pretty dedicated bunch. Conway will go over his head. Maynard and Windsor do battle. This is Stevens, picks it up, and that's what you've got to do on a day like today. Pick it up, put your hands down on it, just like McCormack's been doing all day, and he's done it very, very well. Holding the ball, screams the crowd, and they cue Stephen Squirt to do just that. But the umpire says, I'm sorry, we'll have another bounce. 9-4-58, plays 4-6-30. 28-point margin, more than maybe the Redlegs expected here at the parade. They expected a tough game. I guess they've had that, but they got away to such a great start. Kicking 6-goal 3 to 2-2 is Central. And the margin just has not been bridged. Stevens to Cook is good. He's been busy, Cook, but not enough. That's not Conway, that's McGowan. That's Stevens. Over the 50. Through comes Rowe, holding the man. To the joy of the Dog supporters.
And Schwert has tried hard, along with McGowan and Cook. Probably had the most touches. He's on the 50. Goes out wide. Oh, over the top, and Windsor takes a chest mark.
That's an intelligent kick. Like, he knew he wasn't trying to blast it forward. He got the technique right with the drop punt, just placed it out in front. You know, Windsor was there and took a good mark on his chest.
Well, he's 20 metres out.
You back him in, Michael?
Yes, I would. Heavy ball. Be nice and strong with the leg. Beautiful kick. Splits the centre. So the Bulldogs get their fifth to 5-6-36. Trailing the legs 9-4-58.
Really, other than the first quarter, it really has been a fairly close game, hasn't it? You know, although Norwood, second quarter they were, they had those 2 goals. The Central's no score, but really, since the first quarter, or halfway through the first quarter, the game has been fairly even.
And some updates. AFL last night, Adelaide gained some composure in the competition. They won by 11 points over North Melbourne. Essendon over Fitzroy by 71. What a massive win. West Coast against St Kilda, 58-point win there. And the Cats redeeming themselves after they lost to St Kilda. They've beaten the Demons. Barney won't be happy with that. Nearly 6 goals in that game. Dan Tokia streams out of defence. He gives it to McIntosh in the unaccustomed 55. He looks over his shoulder and then bangs one forward. Tumble punters. He gives Growden the opportunity ahead of Roy Laird. And he sees it out of bounds. So, interesting AFL results. Fitzroy copped a hammering.
It's to be expected. A good game would have been to see. I reckon Melbourne and Geelong have been a great game. Geelong getting up.
Yes, they've recovered their season, the Demons, and but Geelong last week, of course, having an odd one out, losing to St Kilda. High ball, interference, no sir, says the umpire. Off the ground, Laws, will it make the distance? First to it. Good defensive work.
At the moment, the Bulldogs keep peppering away. The Norwood really just playing the game out, I feel, at the moment. Not really trying to attack and play like they have in the first 3 and a bit quarters.
We've got just over 10 minutes to go. I just think that Norwood now just, resign the fact that they're going to just hold possession. If they can, put it over the boundary line.
Yes, it's a good win for Norwood today.
James reads it beautifully. Got to get the quick kick. Shepherded magnificently by Smart. Rowe can't run onto that. Hereda dives on top of it. Robin will hold him up. And the crowd will. They've been yelling, holding the ball all day. But the umpires They've summed it up pretty well.
How would you rate the umpiring, Mark, today, overall?
It's pretty hard. Like, I'd hate to be an umpire at the end of the day, but they've been, they're fairly. I think they're easier games to umpire when it's like this. You don't have to make too many decisions other than an occasional ball up, but they haven't been too bad today.
Pyman can't grab it. Clements has backed himself, kicks it quickly, and that'll run out of bounds in the forward pocket. Over the line it goes. And big Conway, about 6'20".
He's a big fella, isn't he? I didn't realise how big he was. See, one player's been fairly quiet today. It's been Matthew Rodman. We haven't seen a great deal of him.
No, he's spent the first 2 quarters on the bench, and the first quarter at least. Kicked a goal when he came on early.
And he's been paid the mark. The ball's gone about 7 metres, I think.
Paid for effort, I think. It was a good catch in the conditions. And the Crows forward utility, Ruckman centre-half forward, centre-half back. Anywhere you like to play him. There's one.
Now he's run up. Oh no, he's gone for the short pass.
So we saw a bit of this in the first quarter, Mark, where the Dogs just didn't pick up the players. In particular, this guy, Harvey.
Harvey, he just keeps bobbing up. He's another one of their little brigade, although Mosquito, he's gone into the day and he really has done well. He's already got 1 goal. This could be his second.
Kicks from about 25 to 30 metres. He did that pretty well. It'll go close. But it sits just a little bit short on the line. Kicked a goal in the first quarter. It was a beauty too from a lot further out than that. 9-5-59. The Dogs 5-7-37.
21 minutes in. Remus kicks to himself. Goes short. Cow, not a good one. On his left. Slips over as he kicks. Over the top was Prime. Stevens has done pretty well in defence. Unaccustomed to that role, but has done well. So is this man, Roger James, skilled to burn, particularly under the conditions.
Very similar play to his brother, isn't he? Same size and same sort of skill and level as his brother.
Goes short to McIntosh. Just goes down on his knees. Very comfortable. Because nearly in trouble. Onto Clements. Tumbles it forward over the shoulder. No, it wasn't. Conway round the body. James again. Goes long. And, has it got there? I think it has. The umpire says it has. The 10th for the Redlegs.
Stephen Rowe knew it was a goal. He had his arms in the air. He knew it was gone through. But this is like Macca. He's just shown his strength. He just had the time. He gives the handball off beautifully out there. And there it is. Quick pick up. He's just gone forward, like just throwing on the ball, which is, a big fella, he has to do that sort of thing. He just has to get the ball moving. But really, Roger Jones, again, he's just thrown the ball on. And the ball's gone through without him being touched. It's gone through about 2 or 3 pairs of hands.
So Norwood extend their lead. 10-5 to 5-7. Virtually doubled the Dogs score. They wouldn't have expected that coming to the parade today. Now, Mark, you're doing a bit of writing and enjoy reading your articles. Have you any other ambitions in relation to football yourself?
No, I've had my stint at coaching last year. I think that was enough for me. Send anybody off it, but I'm just enjoying what I'm doing at the moment.
Yes, it's you don't make a lot of mistakes in the commentary position, let me tell you. Former McGarry medalist, 1991 with the Panthers, and a very distinguished career with Carlton in the AFL, then the VFL. And of course, with South Australia and with South Adelaide. This is McGowan at half-back, goes towards the boundary line, and Robberin can't stop it as it goes out of bounds 25 minutes into the game. And we'll have some pictures, highlights from Glenelg straight after the completion of this game. And we'll talk to Stephen Trigg and David Mackay about the Crows and other issues. We've got Noonan talking on the great man Jack Odie. So stick around. Plenty of action on ABC, all live, as it is every Saturday. And this is the game of the day. 1 plays 2. Disappointed fans, particularly Dog fans, Michael.
Oh, well, under the conditions, I would have expected a little bit better. Sitting on top, it was always going to be a big game. Norwood, well, you could say a little bit more to play for. They have to stitch up that top 3. They've got the top spot in mind, I would suggest, along with Port and the Dogs. As it gets scooped out, Harvey again reads it beautifully. Smart is swamped. Cotton back to Smart, and they just can't handle it. Out is Conway. As Jason Miller comes back onto the ground, taken off early in that first term, which Maynard came on and has been probably one of Norwood's best in defence, along with Dan Tokia.
Yes, and if you ever thought you should throw out the plastic comes with your refrigerator, think again. You never know when you might need it. Interesting why Miller has gone off the ground in that first quarter, yet very hard to decide whether it was a discipline action or he might be a bit sore. Clements has been taken off the ground. That's Russell, number 12. Nearly time on here at the parade. Ball in towards the forward line for Norwood. Tyson, hands and knees. Chases after it. In comes Pyman. Caught by McIntosh. Girdham now. Hands and knees again. Reimers. Good ball to McGowan. His isn't so good. Finds Russell. Backwards to Girdham. And forward they go, but only as far as Primers again. Doing that work. A kick behind and doing it pretty well all day. McCormack, one of the best for Norwood. He'd be up there with Rowe, McIntosh and company. Cowan had a bundle of touches, had his head taken off there, no free kick. Green's got him as a good tackle. Russell, he's been in the top 4 or 5 as well, and they go short to find Harvey.
Harvey, McIntosh, James, Clements, Rowe, and go through a lot of their run-on players have been exceptional. And that is not a good kick. Probably one of his only mistakes for the day. Out of bounds on the full. They're just playing time at the moment. We're 26 minutes in to this final term. So Norwood by 28 points. And they will stay in second position. Just half a game behind the Dogs. And the umpire. Free kick to Conway. Playing in front. Exactly what Primus has done all day. Over the top. Miller's just come onto the ground, can't pick it up, probably a bit stiff and cold from sitting on the bench. McCormack, Russell, there it is. And the Redlegs pick up the 18,000.
There's the face on the screen. Rodney Mayo, he's come on, he's done an exceptional job there this afternoon. But really, Norwood deserved the win today. They came out, it's a big game. It was a big game for both sides, and Norwood came out and they were more desperate to start with. They had runners going, they had runners everywhere around the field. And they, Centrals are lazy. They just didn't pick up, and they just didn't put enough pressure on them early. But really, Norwood deserved the win, and full credit to them.
And the final score, Norwood by 28 points, 10-5, 65, 5-7, 37.